G'day everyone, my name is Zach, this is my co-host Sam, and welcome to
Pub Night, our new podcast. Pull up a stool,
We Drink,
you watch.
That's it, perfect. I think that's an alright intro.
Yeah.
That's very good. Now, I'm just going to let everyone know, just well in advance, we actually filmed around about 12 minutes beforehand where we actually thought we were going.
Someone may have fucked up the audio.
I clicked on it and the audio stopped and we couldn't. Yeah. So here we are. We're restarting this whole thing all again. Now, just if anyone has any questions about it, this is going to be the entire process of this this podcast. That's it.
It's a bit scuffed.
We're gonna just play it by ear basically.
Yeah.
Play it by ear, just like how ScoMo's doing it with this coronavirus.
Yeah, you know, every day.
Every day,
we'll say something new.
Another day, another press conference. That's probably the best way to put it. But
yeah,
anyway.
and a new restriction.
We'll go to the introductions. So, just for everyone's awareness, we've actually, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Sam when I say that I've had around about 6 or 7 of these Canadian clubs mixed here.
I believe I've had the same.
Well, it's mixing in. It's hitting its feeling. We just want to get into the mood. Sam, do you want to talk about your insomnia?
Thanks for the segue.
That's alright, mate. I'm just introducing you.
I don't think I've slept in the past 20 odd hours, and I'm feeling absolutely fucking miserable. But I'm happy to be here.
And that's what we're here for this podcast. We're really just here to give you a can-do attitude. That's all it's about.
You know.
It's about fuck your mental health. We'll just
I'm
just
doing
keep
a
going.
Fucking podcast.
Just keep going, guys. I think
fucking do it. It's not that fucking hard.
It's the most important point. Now we'll do the introductions. Now to properly introduce myself to everyone, we're acting like look. Most of the people which are watching this already just know.
Obviously, the majority of people know the fuck we are.
Yeah, they know.
I mean, I'd be very concerned for you as a person if you've clicked on this and don't know who we are.
Anyway, we'll just do the nice courtesy thing. So, my name is Zach. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Arts majoring in International Relations at UCID. I do work as a full-time job, and that's basically all my personality is at this stage. Now, I'll pass it on to Sam.
Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Civil Engineering with a major in Structural. I'm technically employed, but no one wants to be tutored by me, so it's kind of grim.
Are you down as a tutor?
Yeah. I haven't got a single class. I'm trying to quit smoking durries, so I'm on a vape.
We all are at this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put out an expressive note that my mum said, which is one of the best things she's ever said to me. One of the most accurate things she's ever said to me.
Probably one of the only things she said to him in the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's probably fair enough. She said to me, okay, I'll give you a little bit of context, but I'm not going to give it too much because we need to move on. So, I'm sitting there. It is my graduation dinner for the HSC. I'm sitting there.
That's a while ago. Yeah, about a year and a bit.
2 years ago now.
2
Gosh,
years.
I feel old.
Time flies, man.
And I'm sitting there with my mum. She's brought a family friend who's a bit of a smoker. Everyone's left the venue. We're all sitting outside. My family friend has pulls out a smoke. She's just absolutely going ham.
Punches the nose.
And my mum doesn't know this yet, but I punch a few in my meantime, you know.
I think you've punched quite a few in your career, mate.
Yeah, I have. I'll tell you what. I'll give you that. Right. Anyway, so my family friend, we'll call her Jeanette because that's her real name. We won't be confidential in this conversation. We'll call her Jeanette. So Jeanette pulls out a cigarette and she's absolutely going ham. And I've had a few champers at my graduation dinner. I'm loving it. And I couldn't hold back and I said, "Can I have a cigarette?" And my mum, her first expression is, "I can't believe you. You've started smoking. How can you do this?" She literally, as she's doing that, she gets her pincers out, goes for a dart, pulls a dart out, lights it, and goes to ham.
Quicker than you can even light yours.
Yeah. She lighted it before mine. I look at her.
Sounds like she was looking for an excuse.
She was looking for an excuse. I give her the look, and she said these fantastic words, which I can honestly, it has so much resonance.
Bit of a recurring nightmare, these words.
Hopefully not now. I'm trying to get off them, but hopefully not now. Anyway, what she said was, You never quit smoking. You just stop smoking, and then there's a length of time to your next cigarette. That's it.
Yeah, I know. That's also the same with clapping. You never stop clapping. It's just a bigger interval.
It's just a bigger interval. I think, and you know what? Quoted to Mum. Do you know what actually happened? Is we ended up in the backyard that night. The three of us just sitting there on the the patio furniture. Absolutely pissed.
Absolutely slaughtered.
I'm just gonna tell everyone right now. Watching your own mum black out is something else entirely. Jackie was gone.
And this is coming from a borderline alcoholic.
Yep, mate. She was sitting on the outdoor couch, and she just absolutely went like that.
Her eyes just roll back to floor 40.
She was gone.
Fantastic.
And speaking of which, we need to get back on topic.
We should probably get back on topic.
Okay.
So, as you know, as two hosts on a podcast, after a while, it's bound to get fucking boring. We can't talk forever about ourselves.
Get boring after this first 10 minutes.
It's probably boring. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're probably already fucking bored. I wouldn't even blame you.
That's it.
But we are obviously considering bringing in some guest speakers to bring some more stories in, more conversation, more controversial opinions, and one of these men we've considered is framed perfectly. So, right up here.
If anyone didn't know, this is a frame photo of G-Train.
Also known as Matthew Ganoom.
I tell you what, our Church of Praise is Starbar. I'm just going to be honest with it. I've heard people talk shit about it, but to be honest, you can't talk shit about a place where they serve $5 drinks between 10 and 12. I mean, how many places do you have where they're fucking happy hours are at shit time of day?
I mean, Starbar, it's got $5 drinks. But every time I go there, it is a bit fucking grim.
Oh, it's always grim. You can always expect a grim night there.
It's not my favourite place to go, but I don't mind popping in there for the happy hour.
It's beautiful. I miss it. And speaking of which, a very resonant topic right now is the coronavirus. Sam, don't you just miss those times when Corona was just a beer? I'm just going to put it right out there. Don't just miss those times.
And when I could just go buy, a case of Corona for $48 and not have to use fucking hand sanitizer every time I leave my fucking house.
And I'm just going to make a note for anyone who's actually worried is that, yes, this is a 1.5 meter distance between the two of us. It just looks a lot smaller in camera.
Yeah,
that's honestly
it's the distance. It's fucking with your head. Like, we're probably about 5 meters apart.
We're probably that far away at this point in time, so you don't need to worry about that.
We're actually really large, and we're like 20 meters tall. So.
All you need is fucking Gladys to watch this, and we're done for. I mean, mate, please get onto this, and we're done for.
So with this podcast week to week, what you can expect is basically we're gonna talk about whatever we feel like talking about. We don't really have any plans or thinking ahead or scripting. We might talk about a Netflix new show or a movie or a new album coming out. We talk about whatever we want. But there is one central factor and idea behind every single episode.
Alright, I'll introduce that. So, basically the main idea behind this.
The thing we thought about
I'll go right from the start. So there I was sitting at my full 9-to-5 work job during my lunch break, which is very boring.
Surrounded by people who are significantly older than you.
Yep, that's it. That's the reality of it. And there I was sitting, and I thought about a podcast I thought about the podcasts podcasts, YouTube videos, everyone who reviews these alcohols, which are so expensive, so out of range,
hundreds of dollars,
hundreds of dollars, and I think
who's benefiting from this?
Who's benefiting these? The people that are rich enough to buy these alcohols are going to fucking buy them anyway.
They don't have to watch a fucking
They're not going to watch a review on it. They're going to buy it anyway. Now, we're talking to our audience here. We understand.
You're all fucking poor.
Yeah, that's basically about it. Everyone wants the cheapest shit possible
on the market.
Some nice
taste.
As
long as it tastes good enough.
As long as it tastes alright, so it goes down without a tucky. Well, later in the night.
Not an instant, tacky.
Not an instant tacky.
Yeah.
But we decided that the best thing to do would be to review some cheap alcohols. That way people can benefit from the fact that we have reviewed them personally, and I think we're decent critics on that stuff.
I don't think we're that bad at all. I think it's definitely worse people.
If you taste an alcohol that is really shit, but we reviewed it really well, that's your problem. That's not a problem. We have perfect critique and taste on that stuff.
I mean, our taste buds are fine. Yours are probably fucked if you don't like it.
I think that's honestly it, because
that's on you, mate.
We're not picky about our alcohol.
Honestly, we'll drink anything.
We're wanting to just review some cheap alcohol, give it some sort of idea. Just give it. I don't know.
Very loosely rate it.
Very loosely rate it, and that's what we'll introduce. We're going to have a alcohol criteria. An alcohol criteria, we'll call it.
Please sponsor us and send us alcohol. We are desperate.
Yeah, we'd like sponsorship. That's going to come down the road. Okay, so the way we've structured this basically is we have designed our own criteria to test the
to rate critique
on the alcohol that we drink. Now, we have come up with 5 clear points that we want to
rate them from what do you want to say? 1 to 5?
We'll say 1 to 5.
With 5 being fucking good,
right,
and 1 being dog shit.
We have set out 5 criteria points. Each gets 5 points, which we're gonna both of us test separately. Just both of our opinions combined.
And then we'll give it an average.
We'll give it an average score of those 2. So the first one, which I will discuss about, is taste. Just the general taste of it.
Yeah.
Does
it go down well?
We won't even go into description. We'll just go. So the first one that we've decided on shall be taste.
The second being the price for about a case of it. If it's a beer.
The third one shall be the lightweight factor, as in how hard does it hit? How hard does it honestly
How
hit?
quickly are you pissed?
How quickly are you pissed?
How much of this do you need to be almost legless?
Which some could argue is the most important point, but anyway, we'll continue on to
the fourth factor is how much does this drink make you want to have a durry? It's a big issue, and
we've decided to title that the
punching darts factor.
The punching darts factor. We decided. Well, I mean, the thing is, when you've already smoked, having a drink with a smoke just comes hand in hand.
It's association. You have a beer, you want a cigarette.
That's it. So we correlate those 2, and we decide on that. And the fifth factor, which we have decided that we won't, for reasons, we will not review at the actual time, but we'll actually review the next episode and give the final score on, is the next morning factor.
Also known as the dreaded hangover.
The hangover factor. So we've decided that we're going to sink a lot of beers and see what we're like the next morning.
Yeah, I believe most of the time it'll be fucking shocking. I can't imagine anything's going to get a good score on this.
Look, to be honest with you,
you might as well just give everything a fucking 0.
The hangover factor is not going to give much above the 5.
No, there's not a chance.
The 4. It's just not going to happen. Another thing that we're potentially going to introduce later down, if we actually last that long with this podcast, is a potential ranking system. And I really hope for your sake that you've watched Top Gun.
You mean?
I'm gonna repeat that.
I'm gonna just say this man meant to say Top Gear.
I'm gonna refrain from that. For anyone who's watched Top Gear, you'll realise that if they have a guest star, they will put on a magnetic board the ranks of those, which is what we're going to decide to do. So once we're far enough in, we're going to have hopefully a ranking list of beers, reds, whites, spirits.
Sounds about right.
That's still in the designing phase. We haven't decided on that yet, but we'll see how that goes.
I wish Jeremy Clarkson didn't hit a producer in the face.
Jeremy Clarkson, please sponsor us.
please come on the show.
The Clems too.
We want to hear your side of the story.
You're more than welcome to. And all right, well, here we are. The beers. So to everyone, we're starting off our pilot episode by actually reviewing a ALDI beer. An ALDI beer which we call the Storm Brewery. That's the first one off the bat. Now,
classic choice.
Our idea was that we were actually going to get the actual full strength beer, but
I'm a fucking idiot.
I also am an idiot. So we have the light beers. So we're going to review the light beers with everything going on. All right.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. This is a big thing in my criteria. Are these twist tops?
These twist tops.
These are fucking.
We need to add another criteria, guys.
Is it a? Oh, we're not. They're not getting a good score. They're not getting a good score at all.
All right, we'll start here. So hold on. We'll go.
No bottle opener. I mean,
we'll
no
open.
Twist top.
All right, off you go. I'll pour this one. My question is, does it hold a full beer? Oh, jeez, that's a lot of froth.
Oi, would you like some fucking beer with your head, mate?
Jeez, that's a grim one.
Would you like some beer with your head?
I blame the storm. It doesn't hold a full stamp. Oh, does it? Oh, no, it does. It does. Hold on. Oh, she does. She does. She holds a full one. There we go. All right. We did actually forget to give the description. There's actually the alcohol brands like to give a little bit of a description of what product they're selling.
What you're buying.
What you're buying. Is it
standard bullshit?
Is it accurate? Not necessarily, but we're going to share it with you because we think you as the audience, you deserve to understand what the description they're giving with that is. So we're going to throw it out there. What?
This fucker has awards?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This beer is an award winner.
Oh, in 2019, this beer has won. This magical Storm Brewery Light won the Global Beer Masters 2019 silver medal.
Well, cheers to that.
Something I've never fucking heard of in my life.
Cheers to that. With global beers,
I fucking doubt that so fucking
I don't know how it won that, but anyway. The description, ladies and gentlemen. Full flavoured with a medium bitterness, this premium light has been brewed using quality imported hops and malts.
I don't know about you, but I don't think it was that bitter.
I don't think so as well. I
disagree with the bitterness.
I feel like they've
I feel like I've been conned here.
No, the light is just too much, honestly.
It's a bit poor on their part.
I'll tell you what.
You can get a good light beer. It's a good, there's a good spot in between a full strength and a light beer. That's like good.
I'll tell you what though. There's not going to be. I'm just going to say it out there right now. There's not going to be many beers or drinks that are going to be much better on the price than this. I mean, getting a case for $25.
And that is true. This is a major factor in.
This is a major factor, guys. The price. You get 25 of it. You get $25.
$25 for 24 of these.
It's a scary price.
Honestly, I'd call it a steal.
I would also call it a steal, honestly. Until we finish this few of them, and then we'll really figure it out. I don't really know.
Well, once we finish this, we will be able to,
The real grim state is how we've only gotten halfway through these,
and they're light as fuck.
All right, sorry everyone. We're commentating too much. We'll sync them. Oh, we're not going to down them?
No, I've got one used to do.
I'm
just going to drink these.
Sorry, we won't chug them. I thought we're not an Instagram challenge, so it's all right.
We're not. Oh no, I can't say that. That's racist.
All right, don't.
I can't do this on episode 1.
I just want to make a note that we're accepting of all races here. Everyone is allowed to listen to this. Now, we've decided on the podcast that before we get into the ratings, we decided we'll talk about a bit of news. I don't know. It's saying that we decided we're going to try and make ourselves relevant.
I can't promise that any of these opinions will be politically correct.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I'll try my hardest not to.
We're just talking about our own opinions about this.
Yeah, it's just an opinion.
Now,
and,
Well, look, I mean, we need to make a point about the fact that there's a global pandemic going around.
Yes, there is a global pandemic called the coronavirus.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, where we want to stay away from...
Wash your fucking hands.
Exactly. We want to stay away from that with this podcast, because people can't escape it right now. Everyone is hearing about coronavirus, so... While we might talk about some topics related to it, we are going to try and steer clear.
Steer as far away from the coronavirus as possible,
Which is why we're going to talk about our first main topic. Oh. Here we go. It's one that's been causing controversy across Australia
over the many years.
Oh,
the amazing NRL. Some fresh news coming out this week.
Oh, I tell you what, they're honestly, the NRL controversial. It just comes weekly. I'll tell you what, it is not. We're not living too far from a world.
There is not a dull week.
No, we're not living too far from a world where the NRL have to put a conference out each week and say, "All right, guys, all right, journalism, sit down. We're just going to tell you all the bullshit so you can write your stories out." I'll tell you what. Get it out of the way. Get it out of your system for a weekend. Give us a break for 5 days.
Here's all the players that are blacklisted this week.
Here's all the players that have talked to underage girls. Here are all the players that have broke quarantine rules. All of that. Get it out of the way. We're not living too far from a world where a press conference like that exists. That's the sad truth.
I reckon we're about 3 weeks from it, honestly.
We're about 3 weeks.
And this shit's meant to restart on the 28th of May.
28th of May. A beautiful...
Who knows how to do that?
Oh,
I couldn't even imagine.
It's a scary thought about the fact that we're worrying about whether the NRL is going to start again or not when they've already set a restart date. So, talk about the NRL's controversy. We're gonna dip right into the fact that a
bit of controversy.
Arguably, not arguably. It's a fact. Two of their star players, Josh Adokar and Latrell Mitchell, have decided to go on a fucking trip. Of all times, they've decided to go on a trip. And on top of that, go on a trip and post it on their Instagram. Adokar. Seriously.
Show every single person that follows them that they're breaking the quarantine rules.
We're just gonna give a bit of context. I think it was Adokar that posted on his Instagram a photo of himself and Latrell Mitchell out on
dirt bikes, wasn't it?
I think it was dirt bikes even.
Just fucking about.
Just out on a weekend.
In the middle of fucking buttfuck nowhere.
Buttfuck nowhere. And Adokar has decided to sit down and say, you know what? I want to post this to my Instagram. Right when the NRL is deciding whether they're trying to organise everything for a restart, and he's decided, yep, the NRL have announced that these are the strict rules that we have in place on the NRL players. And they have just broken it.
To amaze me how fucking moronic these NRL players have had.
It's crazy.
How many times have these guys been hit in the fucking head?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. We're criticising it right now. But do we love it? Of course we do.
So, on this certain trip, not only did these players think it was a good idea to let everyone know that they were breaking the strict quarantine rules, but there is footage of Josh Adokar and Latrell Mitchell both in possessions of firearms and firing them. Like, they weren't breaking the rules before, they're fucking asking for it now. These men do not have fucking firearm licenses.
Look, all I'm saying is a weekend ago. Let's go back
7 days.
Let's go back 7 days to when the NRL was trying to reset amid a
They lost
pandemic.
a CEO. They had a new man step up, and now this poor bloke's got to deal with this shit.
Yeah, they're trying to reset almost nearly everything in their framework. Yeah. And what do two star players decide to do?
And let's not get on to the third.
Oh, well, we'll get onto that in a sec. Well, they decided to go on a camping trip. Not only that, they're now facing firearm charges because
they
shot a gun. They shot a gun without a license.
They recorded it.
And I'll be honest with you, maybe it's controversial. I used to have a gun license. Within the span of probably probably a weekend.
Weekend.
These were Adokar and Mitchell were not the only people to break the.
Be in the spotlight of the NRL's integrity unit.
God, there was more. There was more. It's a grim statement.
It never ends with one story.
Penrith Panthers.
Nathan Cleary.
Nathan Cleary.
Son of Ivan.
He has decided to supposedly have some women around for just 10 minutes.
Apparently 10.
Apparently 10.
And mind you, 5 women.
And all I'm going to say is that if he only had them around for 10 minutes, it'd be grim.
Yeah, it would be
it's a bit grim. But anyway,
I don't know how long it takes to learn a TikTok dance routine, but I'd probably assume it's a bit more than 10 minutes.
Did you do a TikTok dance?
Yeah. You can,
sorry.
If you haven't seen it, for you video viewers, it'll be up right about now. So, next week on the podcast, we were thinking of doing Hennessy as the alcohol review, but unfortunately, the Kenyan governor has beaten us to this.
He's I can't even fathom. There is so many governments out there who are sending out care packages, stimuluses, everything to try and combat this pandemic. What do we hear on the news?
The Kenyan governor, Mike Sonko, has been including in the care packages he's been administering to disadvantaged communities due to the coronavirus pandemic. Some appropriate items such as, you got your hand sanitizer, your nappies, other hygiene products and food. But one of the surprising items, and in quite a large quantity, is Hennessy. Yep.
The straight alcohol. Hennessy.
Yep.
And let me remind you.
The drink of many rappers.
If it was an Australian care package, it'd be fair enough. But we're in Kenya right now. Okay, I'm gonna read this out word for word. All right, here we go. I think from the research conducted by the World Health Organization and various organizations, it has been believed that alcohol plays a major role in killing the coronavirus, Sonko says in the video below, while clearly dressed to impress, which I think we want to share with everyone else.
He does have some drip.
He does.
And speaking from personal experience, I don't think I've ever read a more uncertain quote in my life.
I'm just gonna emphasize the I think part.
And he's being believed.
I'll tell you what, he's got that what do you call it? The Asian mum vibe.
He does, doesn't he?
The Asian mum. Is that
he's
racist?
Really,
is that not so you can say?
I don't believe it's racist if you don't intend it to be.
Look,
that's my opinion on a lot of things.
We're just saying it. We're not saying it was a racist thing. We're just being honest.
It's not derogatory. It's just...
he's just protecting himself from the virus, I think, at the end of the day.
My man looks like a beekeeper.
He's going well for himself. But I think I need to press on what Sam says. He said, I think.
And in my opinion, I don't think Kenya is benefiting from this these care packages.
I don't think they'll be getting much from the Hennessy. It'd be much appreciated over here, but I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think it's going very far for these people. If I'm really going to be honest,
we want to stress and point out the fact that we never necessarily want to get serious in this podcast, but I think this is going to be one of the rare moments.
Under no means necessary, besides this next situation, will you ever see us be this serious again.
I think this really has to be... This is important. This has to be noted.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This story, this event, is so monumental and important to me. What is bigger than any of the NRL stories? The Kenyan governor, or even the coronavirus? Well, Meghan Markle closed the door today. Her own car door.
She closed the car door. We're good. She closed a car door
herself.
By herself.
without any assistance.
I'm talking she walked out of the car, put her hand on the door.
And she managed to push it close.
She pushed it. She pushed it close.
She's done it.
No, we're clap again. It's really an amazing time in the world right now where this has been posted by the BBC. I'm just gonna make a note of that.
Some have praised her, quoted, to be down to earth and humble. You know, because she closed her own door.
What is a more humble act than closing a car door by herself?
All right, finally the point of the time in our show where we'll score our chosen alcohol for the night.
And I'm just going to refresh everyone. The 4 criteria we will be testing on the show shall be taste, price, the lightweight factor we've called it, and the
dart punching factor.
Punch and dart factor.
Okay.
That's already a grim start.
So we've thought about it, and we've each come to a total mark out of 20.
Now we're just going to make a note that the final score will be out of 25 with the average between the two of us.
Including the hangover factor.
The hangover factor, of course.
Which we obviously cannot give you an answer on right now.
We'll get that next episode. So here we go. Sam, you unveil your score.
It's a bit of a harsh critic today, but I've given this beer a 9 out of 20 total score. Purely because it was fucking shit, and I honestly don't think I'd ever get it again. Zach, would you like to let us know how you graded this beer today?
I am scoring this beer harsh critic as well. I think a 7.5 out of 20 today. The main thing is the price was actually half of those points, probably, to be honest with you.
Yep, the price was almost half of the points I gave for this beer.
At the end of the day, you cannot argue with getting a case for $25, but
you can be disappointed with how good the beer is.
The taste is not there. Lightweight factor.
It's very, very weak.
It's a weak beer, and the punching darts factor. Look, at the end of the day,
I haven't wanted a durry this entire time drink.
Yep. That's the.
Wow,
that's the reality. Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. We in all honesty, we understand that the quarantine. It's not the most interesting thing. We understand it, and to be honest, the only reason I would have come up with this idea if I was in quarantine.
If you were bored out of your mind, when else would you been sitting there?
If I was bored out of my mind, I mean, let's be real. Like, when you come up with an idea like this, it's something that doesn't come out of a normal lifestyle.
No,
and if it does, you should.
You'd probably see a psychologist if you think it is normal.
You should be fucking worried. We're going to be filming. We're going to be wrapping up now. We'll be filming the episode next week, so everyone tune in. We're not sure what alcohol we're going to review at that phase.
And we're also not sure when we'll release the episode.
We're also not sure.
You're just going to have to get used to our shocking planning and unpredictability.
Look, to make a point about it, I think the first port of call is that we will be going through the ALDI catalogue. I think that's decided. We've started here with the Storm Brewery Light.
We might as well finish what we started.
That's it. We've finished what we started. We'll be going through the ALDI catalogue. So if anyone's interested in that, just please tune in. If anyone has any sort of suggestions for what they want us to talk about,
we would really appreciate any shows, movies, albums,
anything you want us to review, any sort of alcohol as well, like that. Anything you want us to talk about?
Any very controversial topics. I will not stray away from any of them.
just throw it to us, and we'll be open to it. Anyway, for now, we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you next week.
It's been a pleasure. Take it easy.